Have you seen Susan Chen's work? It's vibrant and oh, so political. And I was expecting, wrongly so, this like super loud, heavy hitting personality to be as bold as her work is. And she's just not. This is an artist who leaves every bit of her emotion and every bit of her political um, hopes and dreams and agendas in her work. And I think that that is extraordinary. Her pieces are like vibrant patchworks of different individuals, different portraits. It's a powerful, they are a powerful statement on unity and the importance of every unique story, and completely tied up in women's rights. It's remarkable. And our conversation was awesome and is all about not just reading a book by its cover. Susan, hello. I am so
Hello.
excited to talk to you. And so excited to discover your work really, really recently. And I think I probably want to start there and start with the show that's up right now at Rachel Effner in New York. Do you want to maybe just tell us what that show is and what it's about?
Yeah. You caught me at a time where there's 2 weeks left of the show, so time has flown by really fast. And I made these 6 large paintings, and in the front room, a bunch of new ceramics. So it was definitely an intense year of work to make. A lot of fun. Um, I always knew I could do large paintings, but this was great to be able to do them back to back in almost like a marathon style. But I think a lot of this work sort of started right after like all the legal changes to Roe v. Wade in the country, and it definitely sparked a lot of sort of a little bit of anxiety and advocacy and thoughts around just like women's agency and even like how much control you have and how much sort of like how much control do you really have, and even with things like when I was making the ceramics, sort of the marketing and packaging that comes on a lot of these women's products. It's very fascinating to see also how that creates like your own self perception or how sort of these products that we live with every day, and then how it informs your idea of sense of self as well as those around you, and then how you see yourself moving through the world.
Has your
So
work always been this political? I mean, it's right. The show's called Plan B, and it
yeah.
really is completely tied up in women's rights. And as you said, what just happened in America with the Roe v. Wade unwinding. Um, but has your work always had this political kind of bent to it?
Um, it's funny because if you meet me, I'm the most non-confrontational person. And growing up, it was always like politics or you don't talk about it really at home. Like you're a girl, like you shouldn't really have any sort of like opinions, really, or to voice them out. So sometimes when I'm making this artwork, it does when I look at it afterwards, I'm like, oh, like it's just like coming out somewhere. And I guess it's just all coming out in the work. And sometimes I don't, people will like they'll ask me if I'm like a political activist, and in my mind I'm so like I don't even think about it like that. I think it's more just like life experiences and how they like inform yourself. Um and it feels more personal than political, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. But then that almost seems even more brave, right?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like I'm in the studio, and so I have sort of a one-sided, very tunnel vision lens. So it's nice when you get the work out there and everyone has very different perceptions too, also because the news is like fed into it, and it changes. I mean, not that it changes the way the work is seen, but it does get read differently than maybe in my mind.
I'm kind of interested in that. Like, I was obviously preparing for this interview and thinking about it, but I'm interested to know what the the reception has been. Like, have people mostly been excited about the work and grateful for it, or have you had like kickback?
Yeah, I think it's um there's definitely like generational viewpoint differences. I feel like a slightly older crowd will advise the young artists like myself to, you know, be like careful that you're not making work that's too political. You know, you may sort of what's the word? Like you might lose collectors from it. Um, and it maybe, they're like be careful. And then sort of like the younger generation of Gen Z are like super excited, like I feel like advocacy is very much just like part of, I don't know, that generation of
Mm.
just like the everyday. And so yeah, it's been interesting to get different feedback.